Module 3: Gender and Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs, both men and women, represent a small, select segment of the population who have successfully navigated the barriers to entering the business world, including gender-based obstacles. Gender through the lens of entrepreneurship refers to the social, cultural, and psychological traits linked to males and females, which inform their social constructs and societal expectations. Globally, women-led enterprises are insignificant as opposed to male-led enterprises, but Africa is an exception. More women than men choose to start their own businesses, a unique trend not seen in other parts of the world. However, men tend to start high-value, high-performance new ventures more than women. In this module, you will understand the role of gender in entrepreneurship within the African context, including societal norms and legal constraints affecting women's entrepreneurial pursuits. Analyze strategies and pathways for empowering women entrepreneurs, particularly in green and sustainable business sectors, considering the unique challenges they face. Evaluate the opportunities and challenges for women in green entrepreneurship within Africa's transition to a sustainable economy, utilizing case studies of successful women-led businesses to illustrate effective strategies and best practices. Understanding the role of gender in entrepreneurship. It is important to note that gender disparities in access to entrepreneurship exist, as the informal sector plays a crucial role, particularly for women, who often find themselves as self-employed or owning account workers. The socio-culturally defined characteristics inferred on males and females creating the term man, masculine, and woman, feminine, has created a lot of differences between these two sexes in the form of aptitudes, abilities, desires, personality traits, roles, responsibilities, and behavioral patterns. These socio-cultural characteristics contribute to differences or inequalities and hierarchies in society. These characteristics have not only created differences or inequalities and hierarchies in the society, but also have tilted power, respect, and dignity mostly in one direction, where the woman is always at the losing end. Activity 1. Let us go through an activity to reflect on gender disparities in your context. Think of the gender disparities in your own country, particularly those affecting women participation in productive, high-growth entrepreneurship. We invite you to reflect and discuss how societal norms and legal constraints uniquely impact women's entrepreneurial endeavors. Pause the video and come back once you're done. Challenges faced by women in entrepreneurship include 1. Limited access to funding. While the statistics place Africa as having the highest growth rate of female-run businesses in the world, women continue to face challenges that are unique to them. Issue: limited access to funding is a significant barrier for women entrepreneurs in Africa. Challenge: difficulty in starting or expanding businesses due to financial constraints. Gender disparity. Despite evidence of women's prudent credit management, they face more challenges in obtaining funding than men. Financing gap. According to a study by the African Development Bank, women in sub-Saharan Africa confront a financing gap exceeding $20 billion. Impact. Younger women entrepreneurs face a wider funding gap, hindering business growth. Lack of access to funding and financial services hinders financial independence and overall business growth for women. Underlying reasons. Gender composition in decision-making roles within financial institutions often favors men, leading to unconscious bias against women. Only 30% of women in sub-Saharan Africa have access to bank accounts. 2014 Findex report. Solution: initiatives focusing on increasing women's access to financial services, financial education, and advocating for gender diversity in decision-making roles. Goal: closing the financing gap and supporting the growth and success of women-owned businesses in Africa. 2. Gender and domestic roles. Issue: women entrepreneurs in Africa face complex challenges, particularly in balancing domestic responsibilities with their professional aspirations. Challenge: women who work often find themselves shouldering the financial and logistical responsibilities of managing household tasks, hiring, coordinating, and supporting domestic staff without much assistance. This solo management of professional and domestic roles reflects the deep-rooted societal norms where women are expected to fulfill traditional roles as mothers and wives. Impact: traditional norms view men as typical successful entrepreneurs, creating barriers for women despite supportive legislation. 3. Societal norms. The societal norms in many African societies, often rooted in patriarchal structures, still view men as the typical successful entrepreneurs. Deep-rooted norms expect women to fulfill traditional roles as mothers and wives, leading to societal judgment if tasks are not managed successfully. This perception can impact both men and women, affecting their sense of identity and honor. Some of it includes sector constraints. Social norms confine women to traditionally female-dominated sectors, limiting participation in more lucrative male-dominated industries. Impact: traditional norms view men as typical successful entrepreneurs, creating barriers for women despite supportive legislation. Interventions. Strategies include sharing information about returns in male-dominated sectors, providing early exposure to women through apprenticeships, and promoting female role models and successful women-led businesses. Goal: encouraging women to venture into more profitable sectors, bridging the performance gap between female and male entrepreneurs. 4. Entrepreneurship, a male-dominated field. A World Bank report emphasizes that gender-specific constraints often compel women entrepreneurs to make different decisions than men, leading to lower profits, fewer employees, and reduced sales in women-owned firms compared to male-owned ones. Challenge: the poster image of a successful entrepreneur is a man. Hence, earning respect and establishing a presence in male-dominated fields is exceptionally challenging for women. Gender-specific constraints. Women face constraints leading to lower profits, fewer employees, and reduced sales compared to men. Sector influence. Social norms often confine women to female-dominated sectors, limiting their presence in more lucrative male-dominated industries. When women enter the male-dominated sectors, they tend to earn less despite their qualifications. Interventions. Strategies include psychology-based skills development programs, supporting women with savings mechanisms, and facilitating access to traditionally male-dominated sectors. Goal: to empower women entrepreneurs, enabling them to overcome constraints imposed by societal norms and gender biases. 5. Legal and regulatory constraints. Challenge: in many African countries, the existence of dual or multiple legal systems often results in a lack of security regarding women's legal status compared to men. Gender-specific constraints. Most women, irrespective of their marital status, are unable to independently own or inherit property. This situation is compounded by financial access barriers. Sector influence. Legal constraints disproportionately impact women's ability to become entrepreneurs. Interventions. Constitutional amendments, fair labor laws, and property rights under interstate laws. Goal: to address these legal and regulatory obstacles and support women entrepreneurs, particularly in the context of African countries. 6. Finding the right network. Networking plays a crucial role in the success of women-led enterprises. However, women-led entrepreneurs in Africa rely mainly on small and highly homogeneous networks of proximity, which reduces their potential for creation and development compared to men. Challenge: Women tend to group in associations, tontines, clubs, and movements, creating less diversified networks. Impact on information and resources. Limited diversity in networks hinders access to tools and resources crucial for business impact. 7. Sociocultural barriers. Broader sociocultural frameworks, including economic, legal, and educational challenges, further limit women's access to knowledge, financial resources, and suitable markets. Impact. These barriers contribute to limited earnings and success potential for women-led enterprises compared to their male counterparts. Interventions. Use of social marketing to change negative perceptions about women-led enterprises in Africa and promote gender equality in entrepreneurship. Goal. To develop a growth of Africa's economic future through the development of an entrepreneurial spirit among women and challenge the normative environment that often hinders their progress. Challenges faced by women in entrepreneurship. Activity 2. Let us go through another activity. Pick 2 of the challenges discussed before. Reflect and discuss how these challenges have affected you or someone you know. Suggest ways in which women entrepreneurs in your country have been assisted to overcome these challenges. Opportunities for women in green entrepreneurship. The transition to a green economy, particularly in Africa, presents unique opportunities for job creation and entrepreneurship, but its impact on women's employment is a crucial concern. The UN's 8th Africa Forum for Sustainable Development, focused on Green Jobs for Women in Africa, explores the opportunities for women in the green economy over the coming decades. Key takeaways from the webinar include the observation that women are already significantly involved in sectors like agriculture, forestry, and tourism, which are poised for green job growth. Recommendations to get women ready for green entrepreneurship. Undo gender segregation in education and promote women's participation in science, technology, engineering, the arts and mathematics, STEAM fields. Facilitate women to prepare for taking up opportunities within green entrepreneurship. If women are to reap the benefits of the green transition in Africa, there needs to be strong investments to improve their access to education in technical and STEM subjects and careers at all levels of the education system, from primary to tertiary, including vocational education and training. Enable women to have equal access to green jobs. 2. Reskill and upskill. Reskilling and upskilling strategies will be needed to ensure that women can access new green job opportunities in sectors where women are already well positioned. But the greening of jobs will require new skills, for example, in agriculture and services. Training offers should reflect the current and future needs of the labor market, economy, and environment. 3. Develop women's networks in male-dominated sectors through networks to enhance women's participation in male-dominated sectors. Nurturing of female role models is equally important. Establishment of professional women's networks and business associations in key sectors of the green economy with higher barriers to entry by women, for example, construction, energy, and transportation, are a mechanism to support existing women professionals and to encourage others to join. 4. Support the transition towards the formal economy. A transition towards a formal economy can facilitate women's movement into better-paying green jobs with better working conditions. This will be particularly critical in sectors such as agriculture, forestry or waste, and tourism. Steps in that direction include supporting the organization of women into women-led cooperatives and economic groups, and strengthening their institutional capacities, including through aggregation into federations to facilitate collective action, access to inputs, finance and markets, investing in research and innovation, leveraging women's knowledge for product development, coupled with technical support in quality standards, to access green certification schemes and circular economy markets, including for export. Establishing incentives to support the formalization of women's informal economic activity coupled with education and sensitization on the advantages of formalization. Developing financial products and delivery channels adapted to the needs of women's cooperatives and micro-enterprises, including using digital solutions to access to finance, especially for small-scale farmers and entrepreneurs who do not have well-established relationships with financial institutions. Optimizing women's opportunities in the green economy. Female entrepreneurs would need to properly position themselves to gain extensively from the above initiatives and take advantage of the growing opportunities in the green economy in Africa by doing the following. Educational focus. Women education in areas such as STEM, networking and mentorship. Engage in professional networks and seek mentorship. Reskilling and upskilling. Actively pursue reskilling and upskilling opportunities to build subject matter expertise. Entrepreneurship and formalization. Consider entrepreneurial ventures and formal jobs in the green sector. Leverage digital tools for education, networking, and business development. Advocacy and participation. Advocate for gender equality in green economy and inclusive policies that support women's access to green jobs. Financial literacy and access. Improve financial literacy and find financial resources tailored to women, for example, grants, loans, and investment opportunities for women-led enterprises in the green sector. Stay informed and adaptive. Keep abreast of trends and developments in the green economy and be flexible to adapt to changing market needs and opportunities. Optimizing women's opportunities in the green economy. Activity 3. Green entrepreneurship offers opportunities for women to engage in productive, high-value entrepreneurial activities. Scout your area for opportunities for green entrepreneurship. List the support and initiatives provided in your country to support women to take advantage of green entrepreneurship opportunities. You can pause the video to complete this activity and come back right after. To truly deepen your understanding, we highly recommend exploring the case studies and activities provided as part of this module. They offer real-world insights and practical applications of the concepts covered. Additionally, don't miss the training assessment and other relevant resources attached to this module. Now you are ready to tackle the next module, focusing on green technologies and innovations. Please ensure to complete the multi-choice questions before moving to the next module.